This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Tuesday, July 15th. For our top story, Google's now indexing Instagram. Earmax Media co-founder Andy Maxwell highlights a new update to Google Search and the Gemini AI overlay. In a recent update, Google has started indexing and sourcing Instagram content for searches, a move that could be a boon for podcast discoverability and advertising. Maxwell uses the example of a listener who remembers a NordVPN sponsorship a podcast recently did, but didn't click the link in the description at the time. Due to Instagram clips featuring that ad read, Google was able to quickly provide a result linking directly to a source that had the NordVPN link, facilitating a potentially lost customer to make it all the way back to the promo code or link with ease. Up next, the power of podcast search optimization, an interview with Jennifer Hahn. OSHA CMO Jennifer Hahn recently recorded an interview with Sounds Profitable, hey, that's us, discussing what the platform does and the tools it provides to podcasters to make their shows discoverable. With proper PSO, podcast search optimization, shows are more likely to actually pop up in search results for terms besides that show's exact title. Hahn points to a recent case study OSHA recently published about working with BBC Studios, during which they used PSO to cause Spotify search to become the second highest discovery channel for the podcast they optimized. Next up, in graphic detail inside the state of the creator economy industrial complex. A look at the creator economy and how it has evolved to something more akin to traditional media. Continuing to look at Billion Dollar Boys research surveying 2,000 marketing professionals around the world, this piece from Digiday highlights data finding a third of surveyed marketers have trouble managing relationships with content creators at scale. Creator burnout is also a concern as those creators navigate constantly changing social media landscapes on top of doing contracted work for brand deals. All of which is to say, while the creator economy might have started out as an alternative to dealing with traditional advertising venues, it has itself, for better or worse, grown into its own traditional venue with all the tech stacks, brand safety, and associated services that brings. And finally, behind the IAB Tech Lab's new initiative to deal with AI scraping and publisher revenue loss. The new Tech Lab initiative, temporarily named the LLM Content Ingest API Initiative, they do say it's a mouthful and are working on it, will act as a formal process to approve use of content for LLMs to ingest, including a tiered scheme based on content relevance and value. While the initiative and coverage of it exclusively focus on text-based publishers, it's still of note to the business side of podcasting due to the amount of podcasts that run robust websites and post full transcripts online where they might be scraped. As for the rest of the news, a new podcast called PodBiz has launched focusing on the business side of podcasting. Current and upcoming interview subjects include Acast VP of Product Millie Boats, Adopter Media SVP of Client Services Adam McNeil, and our very own Brian Barletta. Zeno Media has entered into a strategic partnership with RCC Media, one of the largest radio networks in the Dominican Republic, to grow access to Spanish-language audio content across Latin America. Spreaker will now have scalable programmatic host-read ad inventory read by a generative AI host thanks to a new partnership between parent company Triton Digital and Ecos AI. Marketing Brew has a look at Wave Sports and Entertainment and why they heavily invested in women-led sports podcasts after the success of New Heights. Catherine Brown has started a new position as Vice President of Revenue and Partnerships at the Roost Podcast Network, currently located at Night. And podcast production company Kaleidoscope has raised $5 million USD in Series A funding and aims to both produce more original podcasts with that and turn existing audio content into movie and TV adaptations. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listing app, or you can go to soundsprofitable.com and head to the download section. And on the way, you could subscribe to the newsletter version of the show. The download is written and produced by myself, Brian Barletta, and Tom Webster. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow.